We totally missed our window to do the podcast last week.
I know.
Yeah, but you know what? We're making up for it this week. Hey
That's right.
everybody! Oh, oh wait, calm down, right? Oh wait, sorry. All right, five,
Sorry, I just snorted.
five, four. I love when you snort. Three, two, one, boom.
Hello, everybody. I'm Ramon.
And I am Yugen. Missed you guys. Sorry about last week.
I know we were a step behind, weren't we? So we're going to make up for it and 2 steps ahead this week.
Yeah, today, we're going to bring you something extra special. We are going to teach you martial arts.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's called verbal Aikido.
Yeah. Sorry, no
Yeah,
physical violence here. We're not
yeah,
promoting physical violence.
absolutely not going there.
Hmm.
No, this is because violence. What is it? It's violence is the last refuge of the incompetent. Remember that.
Ouch.
I know.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Well, what about this one? History is written by the winners.
History is okay. Just as long
Hmm.
as it's not violent
Well,
when you're writing your
usually it
history.
starts with violence. I mean, it ends with violence. You know.
All right. Well, we're gonna diffuse that
Yes.
with yes,
Some
verbal
verbal aikido.
aikido. Yes. So what
So,
is it? It's what is it?
well,
You again? You
well,
want to tell
first,
us?
first let's start with a recap of the previous week because I'm a little fuzzy on that.
All right. Let's get back there. To move on to where we need to go. So, podcast 5, we spoke about building trust.
Uh, yes.
Yes. Having
Mm-hmm.
mutual curiosity in relationship,
Mm-hmm.
keeping that going, and willingness to learn and evolve in relationships, and also the concept of altruism.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. We finished the second part of building trust. Uh,
That's it.
yes. Okay.
Yeah, and
Boom.
we built on that.
And so now we're jumping into martial arts, verbal martial arts, and
Yes.
the awesome thing is you're gonna skip your white. You're not even gonna get a white belt. You're not even gonna get a green belt. You're going straight to wait. I'm sorry. Is it
Oh,
orange or? Oh no
I
no
think
no. Sorry.
it's
Well, when I took martial arts, we got yellow belt. Then we got the green
white.
belt. I think. No, we start with white. Then we get like yellow, and then I
Yep,
think
blue.
green or orange comes afterward. I can't remember. But
Oh, right. So I was thinking of Taekwondo where it's white, yellow, blue, red, black.
no. Blue comes before black. So blue is right
Oh,
below black. But
okay.
anyways, you guys are gonna get
Anyway,
your verbal aikido green belts today. Okay, we're gonna skip a couple steps because we've mastered it. So well, not really, but we're gonna get
we're
you guys
getting
up there.
there.
So verbal aikido
That's
is the everyday martial arts of talking to people who you don't really agree with. Um, in Japanese culture, it's aikido in a very literal way means the way of combining forces or the way of unifying energy. Thank you, Wikipedia. And we
yes. Thank you,
sorry,
thank you, thank you.
Ramon. Ramon is the one that actually came across this article, and we were discussing it recently. And she proposed the idea of talking about this because it really follows on to what we were doing with
Mm,
most of our podcasts and such like
yeah.
that. So
Mm,
I'm here happily. Like we've gone through the article and we've kind of summarized, distilled a lot of it in a way that we found it's easier to share with people and stuff like that.
yeah. That's cool. I was really happy to come across this because I've been um, I'm studying the concept of ahimsa, which is like a yogic philosophy on nonviolent communication.
Mm-hmm.
So this was just sort of one step further into understanding how that relates as well in intimate relationships as well, because
Mm-hmm.
we can't always be agreeable
Yeah.
to everyone. So let's get it. System one.
And well, actually, before that, I wanted to point out there is somewhat of a difference between aikido and verbal aikido in the sense that aikido, the martial arts, it it uses the your opponent's force to neutralize them. So
Mm.
you kind of piggyback on their energy in order to use that to rotate it back onto them, or use it in a fashion that allows you to neutralize their action. Verbal
Yes.
keto is slightly different than that. You're actually, well, we're gonna get into it now anyway. So yeah,
Yeah, it's about, well, I guess it's about solving the problem for both of you, not making it worse,
yes,
essentially.
basically,
Yeah, awesome. All right, system one.
yes.
So there's apparently two systems under this concept that we work on. And one of them is this unconscious effort. So when we respond, well, it's not a response, it's a reaction, and it's emotional and it's irrational.
Yeah.
And it means we're in that fight, flight, or freeze mode. So we haven't taken a step back to preserve the self, and instead we've we're just on autopilot. And usually this happens when a specific dynamic has been established between two people. So this sometimes means that we quite forget to be present and compassionate in these moments, and expecting the other to do or say something based on the history of your
Mm-hmm.
relationship with that person, or
Yeah.
their behavior in the past, or that sort of thing. So we're drawing that understanding that we have about that person in the past and drawing it to the present moment. But the problem with this is that we don't allow people to grow, and therefore I think we really have to lead with empathy in that regard.
Totally.
So that's system one. Yeah.
Yeah. And what was it? System two, relates to conscious efforts, like using logic and rationalization. Um, because system one is very reactive and instinctive.
Mm.
Meanwhile, in system two, you want to, you know, evaluate things based on the information that you're given. You want to actually listen to what the person's saying, process that, and respond to what they're saying. Don't
Mm.
react in a way that just where you just are trying to protect yourself. Because if both of you are trying to protect yourselves, then you're just gonna get into an argument. You know,
Yeah.
don't assume anything or take anything personally. Make sure you ask the right questions. And leave some room for growth, like using language that helps the other person rather than attacking them. Like
Mm.
when you speak, use I. Refer to how you feel about something. Like, I'm confused, I'm upset, I don't understand.
Mm.
Don't talk down to them or blame them, because that sometimes is the instinctive thing to do. Speak about how the situation is affecting you in that moment.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like bring a little bit of love and empathy into the conversation.
Yes.
Even the ones that are tough, because arguments are inevitable. We know we're going to have them. But by being a bit more tactful and mindful and skillful, we can then start to speak wisely and listen actively. I think that's really important too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Some other things, I guess, well, we're going to talk about how to overcome system one. So, how to take a step back, breathe,
Mm-hmm.
um, move with a little bit more caution, and, like I said, with compassion and empathy. So, how do we overcome that? Well, be empathetic.
Yeah.
um, but also this, which is very important, is that I think it's important to own your opinion, but then acknowledge the other person's point of view as well.
Totally.
Yeah. Um, and in an intellectual dispute, I think it's important to acknowledge that, but also the way they're feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Because then I think that can deepen the understanding that you have about that person, why they think the way they do, um, why they believe what they do, and then come to some sort of resolve.
And that's often the difficult bit in being empathetic during a disagreement.
Mm. Yeah, it is hard because you want to protect yourself,
Yeah.
and that's the instinctive thing about an argument. It's like, oh, that doesn't feel good. Sometimes you viscerally feel it in your body, and it's a so automatic response to just want to have to defend your opinion, protect yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But then by doing that, and then the need to be right, then stops us from actually finding that balance between respecting and acknowledging someone else's opinion, belief system, whatever,
Yeah.
and then coming to some kind of understanding,
Mm-hmm.
mutual agreement.
Mutual agreement is importante. Very importante.
Very importante.
That's ideally that's how you want all things to be resolved, with a mutual agreement and understanding, right? You know?
Yeah, and hey, you could always just put a funny voice on if it's not working. Make the other person laugh. Bring a bit of humor into the
Like, come on,
into
man,
the
what's going
argument.
on? Like, what?
See, that would completely diffuse like everything for me. I'd be like, you know what? You're hilarious.
You remember that movie we were watching, The Love Guru?
Yeah.
And he was talking about the ultimate distraction, and he brought the elephant out on the ice to have sex with the other elephant in front of all those people.
That's it.
The ultimate distraction. Like,
It's hilarious. See, now you've completely. Oh wait, what is this?
you see, and it continues. It persists. What were we talking about?
I
Doesn't
don't
matter
know. You just
anymore.
lost my train of thought.
Doesn't matter anymore. All right, cool.
Oh my god.
So that being said, like, um,
I think
we
you
talk
need to pick
about
it up from me. I'm done.
no, we talk about, like, okay, we talk about active listening, like listening attentively, pay attention. You know, don't just wait for the moments where you could jump in and like get your thoughts off your chest. And I think I was talking about that in building trust was something that I would do. I would like miss what people are saying because I was so
Mm,
hung up on something that they said, and I wanted to respond to that. Right.
mm.
Other thing is inquire. Let them know you want to understand their perspective, where they're coming from, and what they're trying to convey. That way, you're encouraging mutual understanding. It's not
Yeah.
just you trying to get them to understand you and vice versa. This is, in order to really master verbal aikido, you need to make an effort for mutual understanding and encourage that
Yes.
dynamic. Um,
Mm,
explain your intent behind why you think the way you do. Just so that they can understand where you come from as well, because it it's easy to assume that in a verbal dynamic someone has an intent for malice, but by and large a lot of people mean well. It's just that their approach is slightly different. For instance, me and Ramon, we disagree on quite a bit of things, but at the same token, like, we both actually, it's not that we are being malicious, but her like, we're both trying to get to the same place. It's just we have different perspectives on it.
mm.
And then that actually allows us to come to a reasonable understanding and like totally appreciate the other person's perspective.
Yeah.
And it's just a part of it. Like, also try to understand and learn, rather than look down on the person and having that you're having an argument with, because it's easy to fall into this dynamic of trying to make somebody feel incompetent, you
Mm.
know, and nobody likes that. Like, how many times have you guys been in a disagreement with someone and they try to make you seem stupid? It only makes you more upset and infuriates you. No one
Yeah.
wants to be belittled or feel like they are simple in any which way. As a matter of fact, that's one of the reasons why um, people, do not, they maintain a divide between each other, because they feel that the other party thinks that they're an idiot. So therefore, it doesn't matter what they say. Like, they'll
Yeah.
never come to a resolution, because their view is that, well, you think I'm an idiot, I think you're an idiot, so screw you, or whatever.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I think there's one more thing. Focus on solving the problem. You know,
Mm.
don't make it worse. You know, if I'm gonna assume that people who are listening to this are good people. There are people who feed off of, like, discontent. There are people that feed off, anger and rage. Like, there are people who thrive on that. But
Mm.
I'm assuming that the people that are listening are decent people, and we want to walk out of a situation feeling like we've got something out of it, and also being respectful of the other individual. So
Yep.
please focus on solving the problem. Keep that in your mind as you're having this dynamic between you and your partner or friend or whatever, and stay stay in a space where you're paying attention, you are trying to get them to understand you, and you're trying to understand them.
Yeah, beautiful. I love that. Yeah, seek to understand, then to be understood.
hmm I was
Um,
actually we're actually before we actually did this recording, I was trying to brainstorm a way to create an argument with Rumble. It totally backfired because it's just not like a part of our normal dynamic.
it's like,
You
what are you doing? It's not. It's just not. Nah.
Yeah, and I'm like, stop looking at me like that. You see, that's your problem with your smug look on your face. Like, I can't stand you. You don't understand me. Blah. And it's funny as I'm saying it, I'm like remembering all these situations I've had with people, where it's either I have been that person, or they have been that person, or we've been that person to each other, where
Mm.
we weren't even trying to solve the problem. We were just amplifying it because it I'm not sure if it validated a feeling inside of us, or we were trying to overcome some kind of what's the word, inferiority.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
the desire
Yeah.
to be right,
Mm-hmm.
which is
And
again a protective mechanism. Yeah.
yeah, and I do like being right. That's something that I have to get over. I
Yeah,
had to
you
get over.
do. Get
What
that?
do you mean? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, go on, elaborate.
No, I was gonna say I say you do because it's something that you desire. So I'm happy to support you on that. How'd that go?
Oh, oh, wow. Okay. All right.
Mm.
Fair enough. But I've moved into a better space,
Mm,
and I
it's
am
good. Yeah.
well, yeah. That's damn good.
Yeah, I mean we're learning, aren't we? I mean there's our experience is what it is, and it's if you are willing. We talked about willingness last podcast. Are you willing to change and learn and be curious about yourself and come
Mhm.
to mutual understanding between someone else and yourself and let go of ego and dissolve your triggers? I mean, there's just so much in there,
Sure.
um, and I know that much about you. So yeah, that's it. Um, I feel like I was going to move on from sort of reflecting on active listening as well.
Mhm.
With that is the ability to be quiet,
Mm.
so not interrupting people while they're explaining themselves.
Wait, what? What do you mean?
See, you
Sorry.
just you just diffuse it with humour. Like, I don't even
See,
remember what we're like arguing about.
that's how I got
um,
my black belt in verbal aikido.
Alrighty, I
I
see, I
can
see. Well, I'm obviously
interrupt
only at
and
orange. So, um, demonstrating your presence, I think, is also
mhm.
really important.
Okay.
Um, you know, this is okay. I noticed when I was responding to what you were talking about. There's a and a I'm acknowledging what you're saying.
Mhm.
If I'm sitting there silently like a statue, no one knows whether you're actually listening. So you need
Ah.
to provide those cues.
Mhm.
I think it will help encourage the other
Uh
person to
huh.
explain themselves.
Mhm. Huh?
So
What? I'm doing
you
it.
some you just made me snort. You I made my snort because you made me laugh. Gosh,
I
it
love
takes
it when you
practice,
snort
doesn't
though.
it?
It's so cute. Okay, rewind back to 32 seconds ago. Listen to her snort. It's the cutest thing.
Stop
Come
it.
on, one more time.
Okay,
Do it.
all right. I can't do it on cue. Um, so
I'm gonna
yeah,
record
so
it and then I'm just gonna play it every now and then as a sound, as like a sound effect.
okay, that's weird. Maybe just a topic of conversation for another podcast. Obsessions. How to dissolve
Obsession.
obsessions.
Oh god.
Um, where were we? Silent attention only
Mhm.
makes people wonder if anyone is home. So you
Mhm.
understand? Got it. Yeah. So was Eugen using reflective language when I was talking?
What do you mean? What? Huh?
We weren't. We weren't. You know, and I see. I do it too. You know, You made me snort. You did that. Well, you didn't really.
I think I planted
Anyway.
that in your head a while back when I keep commenting on how adorable I think your snorting is. Same thing with my like, when I like crush up like
Oh yeah,
pinch up
crush,
my
crush.
nose and like
It's
I
too
do it a lot
cute.
more consciously. Scrounge
Yeah.
up my nose and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. It's too cute.
Wow. And this
So
okay.
anyway.
Well, this this week we actually have a short one because we're actually experimenting with a little something. So you're gonna see a interesting revision of our interesting version of our podcast this week. We would love for your feedback on it to let us know what you think. So we're keeping this one a little bit shorter than the others. Um,
Yeah.
so well, you'll see when you see it. It's pretty like in your face. But
I'm
anyways,
excited. Like, are you
what
gonna tell me about it?
do you mean? I told you we're gonna do the whole thingy with the
Oh, the thingy thing.
yeah, that thingy thing,
Yes.
baby.
Oh, I'm excited.
So you wanna roll this one out?
Yeah, let's do it. So, verbal Aikido. Summarizing.
Yeah.
All right,
Sorry,
let's do it. All
sorry.
right.
I said roll this one out like I like
Yeah, as in we're just starting again.
yeah.
Turn this baby down.
Mhm.
Turn the lights down low.
Low and roll up your window curtains. Okay, go on.
All right, so yielding. Okay. Diffusing the situation by acknowledging someone else's point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Inquire, so ask questions, work out what that person's intent is.
Okay.
Share. Um, Share your opinion and your point of view. Own it.
Mm-hmm.
And then find resolve. So that
Yes.
you are solving the problem rather than creating a whole other one,
Yes.
or making that the situation worse.
And if that doesn't work, you can use real Aikido, and that would find them on the floor under your foot, saying, "No more. I give up. You're right. I'm wrong."
But that's incompetence.
You know I like
Oh,
martial arts. You know
I know. Just
Ramon knows I love martial arts.
just make a joke and everything will be completely eradicated.
Oh gosh, yes. Hopefully that works. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. Sorry about last week, but we're gonna be a bit more consistent. Hopefully, you like um,
Yeah.
the new changes
Layout.
that we're making. Um, so, saying adios from New York City. This is Yugen Cosmic.
Saying ciao ciao from Melbourne City, and we're still in lockdown. Ramon. That was
Locked
here.
down, but not locked out.
That's it. Everybody's welcome into my home.
All right, guys. Take care.